Alright, so here we are. We are on the draw. We have a ramp spell. Our hand's a little slow, but at least we have this endless one to kind of do something on turn 3. So we will be keeping this. After that last game, I kind of feel like I need to, hang up my badge. My opponent's 1 Eldrazi spawn ended up making the difference. Flamehold Pacifist. So I assume that we're up against the Bant Humans deck, which is going to be a little tough. Feel like I'm basically forced to play my Endless one as a 2/2 here, just so my opponent's Flamehold Pacifist doesn't flip. And don't really have anything to do on the following turn. The nice thing, though, is that I will be able to play an Explosive Vegetation on turn 4 and follow it up immediately with a turn 5 Chandra. So that should be good. And I have this Kozilek's Return, but it only kills my creature. So let's see. It looks like I'm gonna be letting my opponent flip his Flamehold Pacifist, unfortunately. Since my plan is to use Chandra to wipe the board anyway, I might end up just blocking with this Endless one anyway, and then firing off this Kozilek's Return to get this 4/4 off the table. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to play Chandra and only -3. So I'd love it if my opponent played like a Tireless Tracker, so that I could Kozilek's Return and kill the Flamehold Pacifist along with it. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be that fortunate. I'm going to take the opportunity to get rid of this Pacifist while I can, though. I'm basically 2 for 1 myself, but if I can clear the way for this Chandra, it's just going to be a huge deal. So the fact that I think we're actually up against green-white tokens, considering we are seeing Sylvan Advocates and no blue mana. Well, this is going to be absolutely great for us. And so we 2 for 1'd ourselves to kill that 4/4 Flamehold Pacifist, but we are getting paid off now because we can -3 Chandra, wipe everything, and keep our Chandra. It's a pretty big deal. Really good for us. Wow. We still have another Chandra to boot. And we can't really attack Gideon, unfortunately. Unless we have some big creature. So I think probably we have a couple options. We can 0 Chandra. We can plus Chandra with the intention of just dealing 3 damage to Gideon, then playing Chandra next turn to kill Gideon. I think what we really want though is just a really big creature. So I'm just gonna 0. And this will do. And so our opponent already has enough, like, I guess we go, so there's 2 ways we can go at this. We can go after the basic lands, make it so that future Canopy Vistas come into play tapped. Which is kind of appealing. Not like we knock our opponent off of either white or green mana. But if we kill this forest and then draw another Worldbreaker, we can make things a little more awkward for our opponent. So I'm going to go after this forest. And we also get the added benefit of just knocking out this knight. Also just save it for next turn though. But by doing it this way, it means that unless our opponent has like a stasis snare for this Worldbreaker, Gideon's not going to be able to kill the Chandra. If we left the token alive, our opponent could just animate Gideon, attack with both at our Chandra, and oh, well, there's Depression Stone, and then kill our Chandra. But no such luck. It's still kind of fine though. Opponent only has 1 card in hand. Or like that, have 3 or 4 left over. I think I'll start by just cracking this clue. Our opponent is basically out of gas, so that's kind of nice for us. Sanctum of Ugin is Dees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a 7 casting cost thing, so we will cast our Hedron Archive this turn, cast our Endless One next time, and sack our Sanctum of Ugin to get another Worldbreaker. Opponent certainly doesn't have much going on, but a top deck Secure the Wastes could be like just game winning. Might as well draw our cards. So I don't actually believe that I can just plus Chandra and kill this Gideon. So instead I'm gonna opt to Make an absolutely huge, endless one. 9/9, no joke. And then we can just start popping his lands. And if our opponent does play Secure the Wastes, we are just 100% dead. Plays Avacyn, you know, we're not dead yet. Uh-oh, this looks like Secure the Wastes. And we're dead. Oh wait, actually, if he makes an emblem, he attacks for 10 and we can block one. So there might be hope because we have this Chandra. We're gonna go to 1 here. Alright, moment of truth. Can Chandra get us out of here? Did our opponent top tick something good? I'm actually gonna -3 here so that we don't lose to a Dramoka's command. Nice. We do lose to an Avacyn, but opponent probably would have cast an Avacyn to save all his tokens if he had it. We have another. Okay, it doesn't have another Secure the Wastes. That's good. Oh, I actually should have just attacked the Gideon. LOL. Jeez, I'm losing it. I'm losing my edge. Being at 1 is pretty scary. We do have a lot of gas, and our opponent's basically out, so I think we're still gonna be okay. So I think we can send both at Gideon and the endless one at Nissa. And we can play 2 blockers to deal with the 2 tokens if our opponent doesn't do anything. Our opponent can't protect both planeswalkers. Blocker number 1. And just to be safe, I'm gonna play this as a 2/2. Learn from my past mistakes. Still have a lot to be worried about, but, you know. One is a precarious life total. So, let's see. I think that The 0 with Chandra is obviously starting to look very attractive. But I think this is still probably one of the best things I can do. Still a little precarious because I can still potentially die to a top deck removal spell. But one has to make some blocks. My Chandra loyalty is ticking up. I've got another Worldbreaker waiting in the wings, and you know, I'm going to be able to 0 my Chandra to get some nice redraws. And I don't think I really need to play another land now that we're at this point. I can just save my cards in hand to be redraws with Chandra. So even with a removal spell here, I'm not technically dead. Great. A Declaration of Stone would do it, though. Get both my Worldbreakers. Ooh, that would hurt. So, let's see. If I make 2 tokens, and attack with 3 things total, he'll lose his Knight and Plant. And if he lets it go, ooh, man. Could also -3 my Chandra and lose it. I think for this turn, I'm going to 0 and then potentially -3 on the following turn. That's the move. Good cards. Oh, we got Dragonlord Atarka. So let's start off with that. So yeah, we'll just kill the plant and the Nissa. If we only go after the creatures, we could potentially get blown out by an Apison. This just, you know, kind of take care of everything. And this Dragonlord Atarka is going to be able to kill our opponent quite quickly. So if our opponent is thinking here, I think that means that probably... Oh, he's saving his thing. Alright, sure. And we can still lose to a Declaration in Stone, but I think that it's worth it to attack with this Endless one. Most people only have like 1 Declaration of Stone in their list, or in their main deck, I should say. I think we're gonna be okay. And I will play the Nyx's Pilgrimage because it puts like more cards in my hand, especially now that I have Spell Mastery. But other than that, I'll probably not cast things unless they're like really good to do so. See. So I can plus Chandra, and if I attack with everything, blocks these 3, and he's dead. So that's game, folks. We did it, finally. Also really glad that my opponent just played a land, so I don't have to worry about I don't know, something weird, like Secure the Wastes. And we did it. Hooray! Alright. So for this game, Worldbreaker isn't quite as exciting. The endless ones are kind of decent. Ulamog's quite nice. The nice thing about Worldbreaker is it deals with Archangel Avacyn. We got the Atarkas, got Chandra for that. Sweepers are a pretty big part of our game plan, so we can't really bring in the Deathcap Cultivators. Sylvan Advocates play some okay defense. I think those are the only changes we are going to make, is take out 2 Worldbreakers and bring in an Endless one and an Ulamog. And I think we're ready to rock and roll. All right, let's do it. So here we are for game 2, and we have a pretty nice hand. We don't have a 2-drop, but our deck like literally has like basically no 2-drops. Oh, and we have the 2-drop. Jeez. Oh, this hand's great. We have 2-drop, ramp spell, Atarka. Just all accounted for. Really, really good. This is totes and goats for sure. Yeah, this is gotta be pretty close to our nut draw. Oh, nice. So on the following turn, we can still only play 1 ramp spell, but we're going to be able to play the Explosive Vegetation first. That means when we do finally play our Nissa's Pilgrimage, it's going to have Spell Mastery, which is quite nice. Bygone Bishop. That's something I wasn't expecting. Dragonlord Atarka will have something to say about that. We'll also make our Sylvan Advocate huge and able to attack our opponent's Nissa. So really nasty draw from us. That's for sure. Opponent has some like good things going on, but I mean we're gonna play Atarka next turn. Atarka is ridiculous. Like such an insane card. And still get punked out of the game though by a Secure the Wastes and Westville Abbey, but what if our opponent has Angelic Purge? Depends on using here. So 9 damage here is actually quite a bit. But we're gonna take it. I wonder if there's any possibility our opponent has a Tarka. I mean Jamoka's Command. I think if he had Jamoka's Command, he probably would have just killed our Sylvan Advocate. Not necessarily, I guess. Well, hopefully this kills the Bygone Bishop. That would make me really happy. Please die. Please, please, please. Yes. And so now, I think I do want to attack with my Sylvan Advocate. Don't really want that Hangerback Walker getting bigger. So, I think attacking is worthwhile. Whatever. So this is the point of the game where things are starting to swing into our favor. We could use a little bit more gas. Oh, that hurts. But if our opponent has a removal spell, we're dead. Stasis Snare is a good reason to have Worldbreaker in the deck. Wow. And we're dead. Man, we had such a good hand. So now that I've seen the Stasis Snares, I'm a little more inclined to have the Worldbreakers. My main concern is just I don't know how many Stasis Snares he has. I guess since there's so many flyers, the reach on the Worldbreaker is actually quite a bit more important. I also wasn't expecting that Bygone Bishop. Kind of an interesting inclusion. I think because we have this Ulamog, we probably wouldn't mind cutting this Endless one for another ramp element. I think Hedron Archive is the best one. So with those adjustments, we will roll on in. So our hand is a little dubious. Only 2 lands. Kozilek's Return doesn't actually kill that much in the matchup, which is kind of annoying. If we hit like a Nissa's Pilgrimage, though, our hand becomes a lot better. Well, I guess we need red mana and we need Nissa's Pilgrimage. So we'll have 3 turns to draw a land and a red source. Don't really like the odds on that, so I think I'm gonna have to mulligan this. This hand is not good. Hand's not good, but we're gonna keep it. And I think we're gonna put that on top. So hopefully we can tag something with this Kozilek's return, but honestly, not a whole lot. This Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger and opening hand is also just absolutely infuriating. Well, that was certainly a nice draw. Why would we want anything else? So hopefully we can hit a good ramp spell on the following turn. One of the 4-mana ones would be the best. It's actually the 4-mana green ramp spell would be the best because it would help fix our mana. Oh man. Well, Sylvan Advocate really doesn't do anything here. Chandra does, and we only need one more land to play it. It is a little problematic that our opponent knows, but like, what are you gonna do? Also, the fact that we just haven't had any ramp spells is obviously a problem. If our opponent plays a Gideon here, it's gonna be bad for all kinds of reasons. Plus, you can emblem. We're gonna have a hard time dealing with either of those. Thankfully, we've managed to ensure that this Lambholt Pacifist doesn't flip, but still facing a losing battle, I think. Jeez. So getting into the territory where we may want to fire, I think I want to fire off this Kozilek's return now. We're basically hoping that we just find a Worldbreaker and cast it. This is going to be bad. We're going to get hit for 8, 10 damage. Really not good. Opponent has a way to pump his team. It's going to be bad news for us. Thankfully it doesn't. Also can't cast Avacyn's. That's really nice as well. We will try to -4 here. I assume that our opponent, potentially has a Dromoka's Command to save his pacifist, which would be really tough for us. Fortunately, he doesn't, so we've managed to lock down the board for now. We have 6 mana, but a lot of our opponent's good cards are unlocked, and he just got a few redraws. So I'm certainly not confident. We could draw like a land this turn, and then a Worldbreaker next turn. I would feel actually comfortable about our situation. Because then we'd be in the final stretch to hitting Ulamog, and we'll have had the potential to flash back our Kozilek's return. But the fact that we're facing down 5 cards from our opponent is not encouraging. And that is certainly good security against the Kozilek return flashback. We are at 7 mana though. We're almost to Ulamog. Oh, that's not good for us. What could we do with Chandra? Can't really -3 because then our opponent just levels up his walker. I think the move is to plus an attack. Zeroing this turn doesn't really do anything. Could zero next turn. I think our opponent is just gonna like secure the wastes and like flip Ormondal and kill us. What I think is gonna happen. If we don't attack the Sylvan Advocate, so if we attack with Sylvan Advocate, then we'll lose to so yeah, I'm not gonna attack the Sylvan Advocate. We'll lose to an Avacyn. Our opponent can't like flash in an or block, level up his Hangerback Walker to get 4 tokens, and then flash in an Avacyn after combat to flip Westfell Abbey. He has secure the wastes, he can flip Westfell Abbey no matter what. And if he blocks and allows his Hangerback to live, or allows his Hangerback to die, he'll have 3 tokens, and I guess he could flash in Avacyn, play a land and a 2-drop in order to flip his Abbey, but that would account for 2 out of the 4 cards in his hand. And this looks like an Avacyn. So at least the Avacyn can't kill me, and it can't kill my Chandra, so that's good. Oh, okay. Do that too. That's not what I expected. It is a extremely patient play indeed. I mean that he just has the Avacyn and wants to save it for when I minus the Chandra. So I think we can assume that our opponent either has all lands in his hand or an Avacyn, and who knows what else. Probably not something like a Gideon. Gideon would have been played. I think Secure the Waste would have been played also, so. Ugh. That's gonna hurt. Wonder if our opponent has like a Sirach. That'd be pretty crazy. So now we're kind of forced to -4 our Chandra. Oh, he went after the Chandra, never mind. Let's do this. And we are ghost. And we are only at 8 mana. It's not even like we can play Ulamog next turn. Oh, I guess our opponent's hand is just probably bad. Oof. Well, this will kill us. Can I get an emblem? Wow. I wonder what he's afraid of. I believe we are just totally dead here, but I'll wait for my final draw step. We got another turn. We can cast our Ulamog, but we are dead.